I have a question about
Hi.
the memories. You talked about the
Hmm.
popsicle memory, and what if
Hmm.
yours are mine are non-specific? I don't think I can remember a lot from age 5 and under, but I know I did have a lot of trauma, the death of a parent, and a lot of things happened. But um, if you don't know the specific memories, can they still be addressed?
Yes, that's a great question. I should have mentioned that in the lecture. Um, yes, they absolutely can. In fact, the interventions that we have automatically find those memories. Now, occasionally it might float up and you're aware of it, but sometimes it does not float up. But yes, the interventions, it's almost like a Norton antivirus program or something. And those memories that have lies in them are very much like a computer virus. And our interventions are like, that once you do them, they kind of go find the memories that are resonating a negative signal, and they neutralize that signal. When the signal's neutralized and the hypothalamus isn't picking up the fear-based signal anymore, it turns the stress switch on, off, and it either shifts you into neutral or even possibly flips the success switch, which is oxytocin, endorphins, peptides, all those wonderful things.
Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome.
All right, thanks for that. Next, we have Ben. Ben, please ask your question.
Okay, thank you very much. This is the
I think there's something wrong with your mic there. We're gonna please address. We'll get to the next person. Ben, your mic is a little bit has an issue. Stephanie, please ask Dr. Alex your question.
Hi, Dr. Alex. Thank you for doing this. My
My
question is,
pleasure.
oh, thank you. My question is, if you're a person that has had a lot of trauma in their life, like a lot of death and just chaos, and you're just now realizing that that could be connected to a lot of your health issues and just holding that trauma in the body, what will be your advice to someone who's new to all this as how to start with like the emotional healing and stuff so they can get to a better place with their health?
Yeah. Again, if you go to our website, you'll find a free version of Trilogy, a free version of the healing codes, a free version of our diagnostic test. And I would do all of those. And yeah, after you start doing that, and you can do it as little as 5 minutes a day, but after you start that, then I might sort of start soul searching, so to speak, a little bit. See if you can, connect the dots. Okay, I'm angry. When's the first or earliest time I remember being angry? What was the occasion of that? Let me work on that rather than my anger, that sort of thing. And when you connect to those anger memories, decades ago, that also causes the mind to connect to the unconscious ones and generational ones. So if you remember them and know what they are, they may heal a little bit faster, but they'll still heal if you have no clue where it's coming from. But your focus is not on the physical or on necessarily even the current symptom like anger. That's sort of a marker that tells you what you need to work on. But what you're always working on is underlying source, which are these emotional well-being issues. And but yeah, the best way I can say it is I believe we've gotten to the point where it's dummy proof. You just and I don't mean that in regard to you, of course. I probably shouldn't have said that, but it's just follow the steps and it'll happen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have Janet. Janet, please ask Dr. Alex your question.
Thank you. This was a great presentation. And my question is, I have been plant-based, whole food plant-based for about 6 years. And one of the reasons I went plant-based was when I had a vivid memory when I ordered beans and greens, this meal at a restaurant, that my grandfather was sitting at the table with me. as a child.
Oh.
And every time I have and make beans and greens, that memory comes up. I've served
Yeah.
people healthy food in my journey, family who are not eating this way. And I've gotten responses similar. Oh, this reminds me of my grandmother. Oh, this reminds me of my mother's soup, even though
Yeah.
it was a healthier version. My question
Right.
is there research done on that relationship? And because I want to, put a project together myself as far as how these memories from our childhood, whether good or bad, can transform, even though we want to eat healthier, we want to eat plant-based, you could still keep the memory, that this pulls back and have a healthier version of it. I've seen it happen. I proved it. I was wondering, do you know of any research since you have been doing this all these years?
Yeah, there's a wonderful study. I was in Europe a couple years ago teaching. I usually go over several times a year pre-COVID. They're all Zoom now, but anyway, I picked up a USA Today, and lo and behold, on the front page was a research study. Now, I've been getting USA Today for 20 years, all right? And they rarely put a research study on the front page. They may put it on the front page of a section, but usually not on the front page. Well, this one was on the front page, and so it intrigued me. This must be something big, and it was. It was a study out of Denmark, I believe, over many decades, thousands of participants. And the conclusion, what they had found, and this is on one of the slides that I stopped before I got to it just because of time. But anyway, what they had found is that if your relationships, past, present, future, memories, actual, it doesn't matter, okay? If your relationships are conflicted, and it can be one relationship that's conflicted, all right? You have a 300% greater chance of getting a major illness or disease and dying by middle age. A 300% greater chance. Now, on the other hand, flip it upside down. If that is not the case, if your relationships and relationship memories are harmonious, you have a 300% greater chance to live to old age healthy and happy. Like Jean in France, who's chain smoking and drinking 3 pounds of chocolate a week, but doesn't worry and lives healthy and happy to 122. Now, I'm not saying you're going to live 122, but it's all about your relationships. So yes, I would go through every relationship you can think of, and then I would do work to automatically find and heal relationship memories you are not aware of, like those passed down that we were talking about before. And those absolutely can be healed. But it all boils down to relationships. You remember the Grant study where, 75 years, $20 million, biggest study ever done on the human condition. And the results were so simple. I think it's 5 words, okay? Happiness equals love, full stop, okay? Well, there is no love outside the context of a relationship. Now, you can have a relationship with a pet. You can have a relationship with a plant, okay? But it all boils down to relationships. So if the source issue, if Solomon was right, and the source issue are these spiritual issues of the heart, which is what psychology calls your unconscious, subconscious, and generational stuff, programming, ancestry, okay? If that's the source, then relationships are the source of the source. They're what those things in your memories, it's where they come from. If your memories are good, then the data is going to be good. If your memories are conflicted, the data is going to be that 50% wrong. It's going to resonate the fear signal. Your hypothalamus is going to put you into stress. It's going to suppress your immune system. And now you will break at your weakest link. Now, it may take a month. It may take 10 years. But you will break eventually somewhere. With me, it was acid reflux. With Hope, it was depression with Dr. Ben Johnson, who co-authored my first book. It was ALS, which he healed from in 6 weeks, according to him and his doctors, and never had it again. So it all boils down to relationship.